All right, hello and welcome to the channel. If it is your first time here, first off, welcome, and second of all, please do subscribe. So you're joining me here in front of our Tesla Model Y. The Rivian is out and about right now, but with two EVs here in the garage, I wanted to take some time today and talk about maybe a process for my own sake and just sort of digest this big bombshell that we just got the other day, yesterday actually, about Tesla basically axing their entire supercharger division, announcing that they are going to be investing way less in it, and really just casting the entire industry into a bunch of doubt and uncertainty. So let's talk about what we know, what we can maybe project from it, and some of the stuff that we don't know. So come along and let's talk superchargers and the effect on the EV industry as a whole. All right, so I'm here now in front of our Tesla power walls, which we are using for battery backup at our house. We've got Tesla solar for our entire system here. We've got the Tesla Model Y, and considering all of that, I'm really not like the biggest Tesla fan, especially lately. There's been a lot of things that have given me a reason to kind of move away from it and be less interested in it. I used to be an investor in it and got rid of all of that a while back, and just overall, I'd say there are more and more things that are kind of pushing me away, even though we have kind of been at least big customers, I guess, of Tesla overall. But this latest thing here has just really kind of got me shocked and reeling a little bit, as I think it probably has pretty much affected the entire EV industry. So for anybody that missed it, basically yesterday or Tuesday of this week, Tesla, we started getting some rumors. The Information, I think, is the first one that reported it, that Tesla had essentially laid off their entire division of supercharging, as well as some other people in key positions around new product development. This comes after a bunch of other layoffs over the last several weeks in marketing, in public policy, and a few other places. Even from like the recent earnings calls and just sort of things that they've said, they are moving seemingly more and more away from like some of the big things that they're currently in, like charging and even vehicles, to AI and robo-taxi stuff. And I don't know, I'm not as interested in that stuff. I think it is fascinating for the future, but we've got great businesses right now, and the things that are important to me that have aligned with Tesla in the past have always been around sustainability, bringing electric vehicles to more and more of the population, and I just don't like this direction that they're going now. So, with all that being said, I do want to talk a little bit about what this actually means and what might have led to it. So we don't know exactly how much of Tesla's supercharging division has been affected, but from reports it sounds like pretty much all of it. And Elon even came out and said that they have changed their strategy here, and they are going to be focusing a lot less on extending and building out the network, and instead will be really just focusing on maintaining and upgrading the existing sites that they've got. We have already seen that there are at least 4 sites, all of which are in New York, that were in plans and have already been canceled. They've let the, I guess, like local districts know about that, and utility providers now are kind of scrambling with that. Seems like in the case of New York, at least, there are other companies like Revel, who does ride sharing and has been building out their own network, that are probably interested in these. I don't know about Gravity. I just visited their site, so check out that video. That was pretty cool. It'd be awesome to see like them expand, but when I was there, at least, they told me that they had no plans to expand any further in New York right now. So essentially right now we've got this problem where there is just not a lot of other places that can really kind of take this investment right now. The other big one I've heard is that, oh, maybe this is a big opportunity for Rivian to step in now and hire some of these folks and use that to help their build out. And I think that would be great, but like Rivian doesn't necessarily have all of the cash and resources right now to hire. What we're hearing is around like 500 people, and they're certainly making good inroads in building out their Rivian Adventure network charging. They're going to be opening it up to other EVs later this year, but they're still very early on with this. There are only like I guess I shouldn't say handful, there's more than that, but there's a much smaller number of sites of these across the country. They're not public beyond use for Rivian vehicles right now, and it wouldn't make sense for them to like basically try to take over all of this for Tesla right now. So maybe they'll hire some folks from this and take advantage of some of the great talent that's out there now, but it's not going to just like happen overnight. So this is a pretty big shock. You know, I'm very surprised. I don't think any of us saw this coming. I've had people tell me, oh, are you really not shocked about this with all of the other capricious things that are happening around Tesla and Elon's other businesses now? But I mean, supercharging was like the big bright spot. They were, you know, really the pinnacle of a charging network. And from a reliability standpoint, from a build out and size standpoint, they're just absolutely leading the way and really like the only, you know, really meaningful player, at least in America, that we've seen. And so this is a huge shock that they would just decide they're no longer interested in this and, you know, seem to be like divesting themselves of this essentially. So I am very surprised about this. Yeah, and this comes at an especially interesting time right now, surprising time, because I mean, basically, like Tesla's won the charging game. They just convinced basically every EV manufacturer, at least all the meaningful ones, to move from CCS to NACS, or the J34 standard now, and they're starting to open up supercharging access. Ford's already got it, Rivian got it recently, GM, you know, probably was going to be next, but like all of that now is basically in huge doubt. We've heard that there are, you know, that basically all of these manufacturers were taken by just as much surprise as the rest of us, and you know, they've lost a lot of trust now, both from Tesla, or to Tesla, I guess, and you know, from their customers. Like, you just made this big pledge that we're going to be shifting over now, and then Tesla, like, you know, gives this big signal that they're not as interested in it anymore. So obviously, you know, with it being a standard, there is potential here for others to come in and like build out chargers that use this. The transition can and like probably still will happen, but apparently, you know, there are many companies now that are having these escalation meetings in their boardrooms deciding if they still want to go this way or not. I mean, if I were a manufacturer right now, I would certainly hold off any plans to change over the port, at least in vehicles at this point. And you know, adapters are one thing, but like changing over the product lineup, you know, in years from now, there's a lot more doubt around it right now. So I am not surprised to hear that they're asking a lot of questions and kind of reconsidering some of this stuff. So I think this is going to, you know, really delay things. This is also really problematic because it just gives more ammunition and doubt to people that, you know, are have been seeding doubt around EVs and the adoption. People that are just like worried about it. You know, now they're going to hear, oh, well, you know, Tesla's not taking this seriously anymore, and you know, really, again, it was like the shining spot. It was the one thing that you could recommend to people around EV charging. Like, if Tesla's not there, or if they're, you know, really ramping down now, right now, I would not feel comfortable recommending that people get EVs if they're going to be doing meaningful road trips and relying on DC fast chargers. You know, it's fine for us. We've got charging here. It's not like these sites are going away overnight or anything. And I don't think, you know, they're even going to be removed, but like, we're kind of now in stasis where the sites that we've got are pretty much going to be the ones that we've got now. And we'll have to see like how this plays out over the next several months. So, you know, just a really kind of concerning thing here now. And I don't know what this is going to mean for EV adoption, other than like, it's certainly not going to increase from this. And, I just think, you know, this is really kind of shaking the industry right now, and I think a lot of EV manufacturers are probably, you know, shocked, surprised, and they're going to be rethinking some of the decisions that they've recently made around this, and that's going to trickle out to customers. So what it sounds like is happening right now is that, you know, again, nothing is going to change like tomorrow. It's not like they're shutting down sites. It's not like superchargers are going to stop working. The ones that are out and available are still going to be there. I think maintenance is still going to be, you know, a priority. Like Elon's even said that, you know, they haven't laid off like the maintenance crews for this. It's really more people working on expansion and developing the next generation of charging. But, you know, it seems like the V4 supercharger rollout, which it was already, I mean, there were never any like public timelines for it, but it seems like it's been delayed, at least from like what we hear internally, is going to continue to be, and like probably is just on pause now. There are a lot of interoperability issues that you know, are starting to come up now with other vehicles. We've had no problem with our Rivian, but you know, even Cybertruck is not charging super well on Tesla hardware. There are other vehicles like the EV9 that have been having problems with it, and you know, a few other like older legacy ones. So, you know, we are starting to kind of stress test and find out what the limits of the Tesla supercharging network are. You know, it's never been tested across vehicles that weren't made by Tesla before, and are starting to find some holes in that. So, you know, it seems like that stuff is not going to be a priority to get fixed, and we'll continue living with that. And yeah, it's just, it's you know, there's a lot more doubt and uncertainty today than there was a few days ago, I think, around this. There's a lot of positivity before with everybody moving over to one charging standard. You know, it wasn't going to solve every problem. It wasn't going to be a magic panacea, and certainly wasn't going to fix things overnight. But like, there was a lot of reason to be optimistic about the way that things were going, and a lot of good decisions being made that were going to help, you know, bring a lot of different companies and manufacturers together, kind of to the benefit of EV drivers and you know, prospective customers. Now, a lot more of that is uncertain. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of all of this other than don't think it's good news for sure. This is going to affect everybody, whether you're currently a customer of Tesla or another EV manufacturer that would be moving on to Tesla, or even just somebody like thinking about an EV, or even somebody not thinking about it. Like, there's, you know, far less reason now to, I think, you know, adopt. So yeah, really kind of dark day right now. I think, you know, this I heard before, I don't want to steal credit for this, but like, this is basically as big of a day, just in the opposite direction, as the day that, you know, Ford announced that they were going NACS and the others started following. This is just a huge disruption here, and I think, you know, we're going to be feeling the effects of this for months and months, and you know, potentially even for years. It's an opportunity now for others to step in. I'm optimistic about what Rivian's doing. There's also the Iona network that Mercedes and a bunch of the other manufacturers are coming together on, but you know, they're basically just a website right now. Like, they haven't launched anything. They're working on stuff, but it's going to take some time. Mercedes has been building out their own network, but you know, still very early on that. GM's been working with Pilot J stations to do that. You know, and like Starbucks has been working with Volvo, I guess. So like, there are bits and pieces here, but you know, it's all so far behind, and like, we're just not at the point where it's scaling, and certainly like nowhere close to what Tesla has been doing. So yeah, I think it just really kind of sets things back, you know, almost by years at this point. So, you know, with all of that positivity, I will still say, you know, I think EVs are just as much the future now as they ever were. This is, you know, definitely a big hurdle to overcome now, and a big step back, but there's still a lot of reason to be optimistic about the future with EVs. It's not like we're going to be selling our Tesla tomorrow or anything, but you know, yet again, another reason here that I think this is the last Tesla we're ever going to own. And even now, like, when I think about extending our solar system here in the house, and I've been meaning to bring an update video to all of you. I'll probably do that soon, because now that we're in the longer days, it's incredible how much we're actually getting here from not the biggest system, and just what a big difference this makes. So I'm going to do that still, but if we ever kind of consider extending it or even putting more batteries in, I'm going to be looking at alternatives to Tesla, because I want to be, you know, working with and invested in a company that I believe, you know, kind of shares my values about advancing this transition to sustainable energy and transportation, and it just feels more and more like Tesla does not care at all about that. So I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of comments both ways on this. There are a lot of Tesla people saying, oh, this is definitely the right thing. It was a lost leader for them, and they should be focusing on AI and this other stuff. But I don't buy that. I think supercharging, we know, was not a lost leader for them, especially because of the incentives that they get around it. And probably would be getting even more so. And regardless, like, they were doing great with it, and it was a good part of the company. Like, even if it was a loss leader, it was bringing a lot of people to the brand otherwise. So I really don't understand this decision. I don't think there are a lot of people that do. You know, it is clearly more and more diverging from the things that I think are important, and I think what a lot of people in the EV world think are important. So anyway, you know, I'm still very optimistic here, and I love our EVs. You know, even more and more, I love our Rivian. The content for that has been doing much better than Tesla stuff anyway, so there'll be just as much, if not even more, of a focus on that on the channel. And you know, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and bring news and reviews and drives of as many EVs as I can. Of course, when we do road trips, we're gonna continue to use the Tesla Supercharging network as much as we can, and I'll bring you the experience of that from both the perspective of a Tesla owner and a Rivian driver. So, you know, stay tuned for all of that. And you know, I guess on that positive note, please make sure you're subscribed and ring that bell so you don't miss any of that. But let me know what you think, because I'm just really curious right now. I think we're all processing this. I think we're all guessing, but there are a lot of different takes on what this means and why these decisions were made and how it's going to affect things. So I'd love to hear from all of you about that too. So sound off in the comments below. All right, well, with that, thanks so much for watching. A little bit unstructured thoughts here, just as I'm kind of processing all of this and going through the different stages of acceptance, I guess, with this. But I'd love to hear your thoughts too. With that, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you out there on the road.